Hey there, learners! Ever wonder about the journey of that t-shirt you're wearing? It's pretty amazing. The cotton might have been grown in India, spun into yarn in China, and then sewn together in Bangladesh. Finally, it traveled across oceans to end up in your closet. Global trade, right? But this idea of goods traveling across continents is way older than you think. We're talking ancient history old. This intricate web of trade connecting distant lands reminds us of another famous network, the Silk Road. For centuries, it was the main artery of global trade and cultural exchange. It's like the ancient ancestor of our modern, globalized world. So buckle up, because we're about to take a trip back in time to explore the wonders and challenges of the legendary Silk Road, and see how it shaped the way we trade today. Let's get one thing straight. The Silk Road wasn't a single road. Imagine it more like a massive network of interconnected routes stretching over 4,000 miles. We're talking from what is now eastern China all the way to modern Turkey and Egypt. This network thrived for over 1,500 years, connecting the East and West in ways unimaginable before. It wasn't just about goods, though. The Silk Road was a two-way street for exchanging ideas, cultures, and even religions. It was like this massive cultural blender, mixing together different flavors from across the globe. And it wasn't just overland, maritime routes played a crucial role too. This exchange of knowledge and culture laid the foundation for the modern world. Okay, so silk was a big deal. That's why we call it the Silk Road, right? This luxurious fabric originating in China was a hot commodity in the West, especially in the Roman Empire. But it wasn't the only thing changing hands. Think spices like cinnamon and cloves, which were super valuable for preserving food and, making it taste better. We're talking gourmet stuff. Then there were textiles, ceramics, precious metals, and even exotic animals. This wasn't just trading, it was a global exchange of awesome stuff. Ships carried these treasures across seas, connecting distant lands. Trade agreements and negotiations were crucial, shaping the economies of entire civilizations. From spices to silk, ceramics to precious metals, the ancient world was a vibrant marketplace of global goods. Now, imagine trekking across harsh deserts and treacherous mountains with camels loaded with goods. That was the life of nomadic people who were the backbone of the Silk Road. These weren't your average delivery guys. They were tough, resourceful, and knew the land like the back of their hands. They didn't just transport goods, they facilitated trade, provided protection, and acted as cultural bridges between the East and the West. Without them, the Silk Road would have been impossible. They were the unsung heroes of this ancient global network. Their legacy lives on in the history of global trade. Section 5, Roman Riches and Silk Road Rivalries. The Roman Empire, with its taste for luxury, was obsessed with silk. Can you blame them? But this insatiable appetite came at a price. Literally. Silk was expensive, and the Romans spent a fortune importing it, which led to some serious trade imbalances and even political tension. Control over the Silk Road meant control over wealth and power. This led to rivalries between empires and kingdoms, each vying for a piece of the action. The Silk Road wasn't always smooth sailing. It was a network riddled with competition and conflict. The Romans even deployed soldiers to protect their precious silk shipments. Trade policies were crafted to ensure a steady flow of silk, despite the high costs. The journey of silk from the East to Rome was a testament to the lengths they would go for luxury. Section 6, Traveling Ideas, Buddhism's Transformation. The Silk Road wasn't just about material goods, it was a pathway for ideas to spread like wildfire. One of the most significant examples is Buddhism. Originating in India, Buddhism traveled along the Silk Road, reaching as far as China, Korea, and Japan. But here's the thing. Buddhism didn't just spread in its original form. As it encountered new cultures, it adapted and evolved. Different branches of Buddhism emerged, incorporating local beliefs and practices. The Silk Road didn't just spread ideas, it transformed them. Today, Buddhism continues to evolve, reflecting the diverse cultures it touches. Section 7. The Dark Side of Trade, a world connected by disease. As much as we romanticize the Silk Road, we can't ignore its downsides. One of the most devastating was the spread of diseases. Increased trade meant increased contact between people from different regions, which, unfortunately, included the exchange of deadly pathogens. The Black Death, one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, is believed to have traveled along the Silk Road from Central Asia to Europe in the 14th century. This devastating plague wiped out millions, highlighting the interconnectedness but also the vulnerability of a globalized world. Even today, our global trade networks can facilitate the rapid spread of diseases, reminding us of the ever-present risks in our interconnected world. Section 8. A Legacy of Interconnection. The Silk Road might have declined by the 15th century, but its impact is still felt today. It laid the foundation for global trade, cultural exchange, and interconnectedness. The world we live in today, where goods, ideas, and people can travel across the globe with relative ease, owes a debt to the legacy of the Silk Road. It's a reminder that our world has always been connected, and that our interactions, both positive and negative, have shaped the course of history. The Silk Road is a testament to the power and complexity of human connection across vast distances. Today, technology continues to build on this legacy, connecting us in ways our ancestors could only dream of. As we move forward, we carry with us the lessons of the past, striving for a more interconnected and understanding world. Section 9. From Silk to T-shirts, a world transformed. So the next time you slip on a t-shirt, remember that its journey is part of a much larger story. A story that began centuries ago on the dusty trails of the Silk Road. The world has changed a lot since then, but the fundamental desire to connect, to trade, to share, remains a defining characteristic of humanity. From silk to t-shirts, from spices to smartphones, we continue to be interconnected by a complex web of trade, technology, and shared experiences. The Silk Road may be a relic of the past, but its legacy lives on in the globalized world we inhabit today. The threads of history weave through our modern lives, reminding us of our shared journey. And that's something worth thinking about, don't you think?